Hey everyone, I'm Michael from H&H Games. Over the past few months, we've been sharing with you some of the various characters that are available for play in our debut fantasy game, Season of Heroes. You can find a lot of the posts of our characters on our Instagram account at h.hgames. But I know exactly what you're thinking. What do these cards mean? What do all these stats mean? Who are these characters and why are they important? What are these numbers and symbols and words written around these awesome looking characters? Well, in this little video, we're going to take a deeper look at a couple of characters and tell you just what all those different stats and symbols mean, and just exactly how they will work when playing Season of Heroes. Today we'll be looking at three different characters: Sister Aladine Blackwood, Keone, and Hadge Moltenbrow. To begin with, at the very top of these character cards, we have the character's name. Very important. Sometimes difficult to pronounce, but it gives the character some personality to begin with. Beneath that, we have the character themselves. We tried to show a variety of people within our artwork in a way to be more inclusive. That being said, we opened up character design to our friends and family, asking if people wanted to model for them. Out of these three, both Aladine and Keone are based off of real-life people. Aladine is modeled by our friend Steph, while Keone is modeled after musician TJ Kingston. On the side of the character cards are the character's stats. Stats change based on the character class, design, and race, but all characters share the same three stats. The first stat, with the book, is the character's knowledge stat. When your characters are out questing, they'll sometimes have encounters that require them to use knowledge. Each character gets a base stat and a dice roll to combine for their final score, which you end up playing against the score of whatever card or encounter you came across. As you can see, Aladine and Keone's base stats are 3, while Hadge, a dwarven barbarian, only gets the number on his dice roll. Below the knowledge stat is the combat stat. Once again, these numbers change on character class, design, and race. Here, Hadge, the barbarian of the group, has a base stat of 4, while both Aladine and Keone have a base stat of 1. The third and final stat is their bag size. Bag size is important because it's how you carry and collect your resources that you pick up from different locations to go towards your quests. Completing quests grant players a bulk of their victory points. Characters' base bag stats come in numerous sizes from 1 to 6. Here, both Aladine and Hadge have bags allowing them to carry 3 resources, which is pretty common, while Keone has a bag size of 4. All of these stats can be augmented and added to through the use of equipable items and one-time play cards that can be used in combat and knowledge scenarios. Each character card has these little symbols above their description. These are symbolic of their class. Most classes have a primary class and a subclass, and these symbols reflect those. For example, Aladine is a spiritualist whose subclass is cleric. Keone is an artisan with the subclass bard, and Hadge is a warrior with the subclass Barbarian. These symbols were added simply to make things easier when dealing with equipment. Match the symbols on the equipment with the characters, as certain items are only equipable by certain classes. Now we get to the meat of the characters. In the character info, we have a short description of the character: High Cleric of House Blackwood, Traveling Bard, Gold Sun Clan Barbarian, their class and subclass, and their race. Below that is the individual perks and abilities. Each character has at least 2 special abilities that are unique to that character, and yeah, it took a while to come up with them all. These perks make playing styles different between every character in the game. Some abilities are tied to class. For example, Aladine's ability Nine's Prayer, which reads, once per turn, remove 1 wound from your cleric or any of your characters at the same location as your cleric, is a class ability, shared by all the clerics in the game. But her character ability, Home is Where the Dead Are, which reads, if the graveyards of Havlum are in play, bypass the location boss when placing Sister Blackwood or her party here, is unique to her character and sometimes shared between related characters. Keone's perks include Band on Tour, which is his unique character ability, and reads, once per turn, gain 1 victory point whenever Keone travels to a new location in a party with 1 or more bards. His class perk, Payment for a Song, reads, once per turn, trade any card in your possession for a specific card of another player at the same location as you. Basically, it's a way to pass off your trash for something that you can actually use towards your quests. As a class perk, Payment for a Song is an ability that is shared amongst all of the different bards within the game. Hadge's perks include Old Enemies, which is unique to his character, and reads, Molten Brow refuses to work with orcs. If you pick up an orc character to add to your party, you must either choose the orc character or Molten Brow. And his class perk, Hard to Kill, reads, Barbarians receive 4 wounds rather than 3 in order to be killed. The final feature on these character cards is the equipment slot. Most characters only have 1 slot, while 3 in the base game feature 2 slots. As mentioned before, equipment can enhance the character's base knowledge, combat, and bag stats. One final thing that isn't pictured here are the wound tokens. These tokens will be placed on characters who lose in combat to other players and enemy cards. Sometimes wounds are applied from knowledge encounters as well. When a character amasses 3 wound tokens, that character dies and is placed in the character discard pile. In Season of Heroes, players build a roster of 4 characters to go out and quest for them. You'll never be without a character, even if all of yours perish. You'll pick up a new one and start your party all over again. In this way, your gameplay and the characters that you work with are constantly changing and revolving, giving you a varying game style play every time you play the game. So this has been a little look at how our character cards work. Each character will have a little cutout as well that you can move around the board to different locations. We want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video and get to know Season of Heroes a little deeper. Stay tuned for more videos, our continued art development, and the eventual release of our game on Kickstarter.